Just gotta get that going so that when we're ready, we're already rocking and rolling. I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. I think about it every night and day. Spread my wings and fly away. I believe I can soar. All right, that's pretty good. I think the pipes are ready. Hair looks good. Mustache is a solid 5 out of 10.
You're getting there.
Yeah, we're getting
You are
there.
getting there.
We are getting there.
Keep putting in the work.
Putting in the work. Every morning I wake up and I do 10 sets of.
You do the massages.
Oh yeah, absolutely. My wife does.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah. With her toes, her big toes. She just rubs
You're one
them.
of those guys.
Well, I wasn't. Now I am.
Have fun.
Good to go? Thank you,
Thank
brother.
you.
Jake Sacco, welcome to the fucking building. I have no idea what episode this is, but we have got a unique, what do we call this? We've got a bit of a unique process that we're going to kind of go through. The first part is normal. I kind of want to get a little bit of history on Q6 Media and how you guys got your start, our journey together, how we worked together, how I absolutely blew up your company into the fantastic one that it is today. And then we're going to get to some conversation about where you're at right now as a business, and hopefully I can help answer some questions about this growth phase that you're going through and how you can scale through it. And then maybe towards the end, we can start pitching a couple ideas about our transition with my brand from Creators Collective to Legentic and how we're going to brand that appropriately, because you were responsible for giving us and for creating an absolutely stellar brand video for us back in, what year was that?
I don't know. That was
21?
probably 2 years ago
No.
that we did that brand video.
Yeah.
That
Okay,
was-
I guess, dude, yeah, 20.
There's around Leverify or Leverify.
I think that was either 22 or 23 then, somewhere around there. But it was a fantastic video. That video did not do good when it came to advertising, but it did really good on organic. And then when people saw our advertisements, came to our page or our website and saw that video, a lot of times they were like, that is the company for me. And you guys really helped set us apart for that. So truly, truly fantastic. So you and your partner, Ryan, business partner, not gay partner, came to Austin, Texas, and this was 2020, was it? Or 2019?
I think it's 2021.
2021?
Or 22, maybe.
Okay.
Oh,
A
it's
little off
21.
on the
It was
years.
21.
Okay. Yep. And then you guys came from Alabama. Is that correct?
Yeah, we
Yep.
both went to the University of Alabama and kind of started like the brand there, just shooting parties and
Yeah.
fraternity events,
Yeah.
and concerts.
Trying to go that Project X route.
Yeah, we thought there'd be good money in shooting concerts and music and stuff like that.
And was there?
No,
Yeah.
no, everyone wants to do it for free. I mean,
Yep.
it's fun, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, graduated from there. Realized Alabama's probably not the best start or best place to grow a media company.
Yeah.
Um,
So were you and Ryan in this position, like, thinking you wanted to do something together, or were you wanting to do this on your own and he kind of popped into the picture? Like, how did that relationship form and grow to where you
Yeah.
decided to make that move?
so we met him while we were shooting a game day event
No shit.
at a party, and he came up to us and he's like, "What are you guys doing?"
He's trying to pick you up, dude.
Yeah, exactly. You get it. Yeah, he's like, "What are you guys doing?" And we're like, "Yeah, we shoot like events and stuff like that, and sometimes get paid for it." And he's like, "You can get paid for this?" He's like, "I thought it was just like the traditional film and
Yeah.
television thing."
That reminds
So,
me of We're the Millers. You know
Yeah.
that scene?
you guys are getting paid. But yeah, just started growing. He was super ambitious, and especially on like the organic and performance side of things. But I think both of us knew we wanted to do it full time out of college, which, I'm not disappointed that I did it,
Right.
But it was fucking rough for a
yeah.
while.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, you went to school for what, and Ryan went to school for what?
I went to school for general business.
Yep.
Ryan went to school for, journalism, film, and TV.
Yep. And you were kind of thinking about if I recall correctly, following in your father's footsteps a little bit, right?
Yeah, I think so. I was like, I don't
Something
want
like
to
that.
work behind a desk every day. I mean, he does sales for a steel company, so it's like, multiple times a month he'll be on like fishing or golfing outings.
That's not too bad
It
though.
sounds fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, I want to do that. That's what everyone wants to do. I never thought I would be, the owner of a media or organic marketing agency.
Yep.
And I kind of picked up videography as a hobby, and then it went from there. You know?
So did you really like try to hone in your skill set in Alabama, and then you guys are like, all right, we're good enough. Let's send it off to Austin, or what did that? I want to learn more about that process.
Yeah, I graduated a year early,
Okay.
or a year earlier than O'Malley did, and we were working with Najee Harris at the time.
Who the
the
hell is
year
that? Who the hell?
he won the Doak Walker Award, so best running back that year
Oh, sick.
in college football,
Okay.
and went on to play for the Steelers, and I think he's in LA now.
Nice.
But we did like a 3-part series on YouTube. It did pretty well, and then we ended up licensing a bunch of the footage to ESPN
No shit.
for the college football awards. I don't remember where I was going with that, but
Well, you were just talking about how
Yeah.
you were getting I was asking you, did you really like get things solidified in Alabama and then come to Austin, and just what that process looked like?
so we knew that we wanted to move somewhere because Alabama's not the spot for that. I was kind of waiting on O'Malley to graduate. I was in Birmingham, which is like an hour away from the university.
Are you trying to pick up side gigs at the time? Like,
Yeah, we were trying to get whatever we could.
Yeah.
Contacting all the bars in
Yeah.
every city. And
Can I film you pour a beer?
Yeah, exactly. And everyone's like, no, like we're fine. We sell alcohol. We don't need marketing.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, we were picking up everything. We started working with a company called Hollow Gear that made like reflective sportswear and balls and stuff like
I
that.
remember seeing some of those videos. You presented to those to us a little bit to kind of show us what you could do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was one of our first, like, I guess, decent projects when it came to like
Yeah.
advertising work.
I thought it was respectable.
It was all right. I
Yeah.
mean, looking back on it, it was
I think
good at
our
the
video.
time.
I think our video was better, but like at the time, I was like, okay, like they know what they're doing. Like,
Yeah,
that's good.
that's
honestly.
good.
Yeah.
But that's how I met Ryan Gallego, because he was also working with the same company, and his videos were much better than where we were at the time. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I need to talk to that guy
Yeah.
and get some advice.
Seem a little bit more as a mentor, like
Yep,
somebody that you can look
100%.
up to.
Yeah, so he gave us a bunch of tips on how to shoot it and what to do, and ended up getting along with him and doing these, like, I don't know, they were like bi-weekly or monthly meetings. We were thinking about maybe Nashville or Charleston for the cities to move to, and Ryan's like, you got to come to Austin to help out with this supercar shoot, and we were like, all right,
Yeah,
let's get
not
some
mad about
tickets.
that. And that's cool.
We ended up flying to Austin. The shoot got canceled, but we just hung out the entire time. And then by the end of that week, all of our leases were ending at the same time, and we're like, let's just get, a house with 3 bedrooms and have like a media trap house.
So did you, Ryan, and Ryan all move in together?
Yeah.
Oh, was that the one that was on Pleasant Valley?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
I remember that. Yep. Okay, very good. Okay, so now you've established yourself a little bit at this point. I think we had already filmed. No, I had used you for a couple projects. I used you for Phone Animal at that point.
Yeah.
Yep, I used you for Phone Animal.
It's a free video too.
It was a free. No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was.
How was it a free video?
It was a throw-in with the retainer that we.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Which ended up being a shit show. What beautiful writing, but a shit show in terms of like everything that we threw together. We were just talking about this the other day. I was 8 Bud Light Platinums deep filming it because we couldn't get an actor to show up for us. I got a burp too. Excuse me. But we pulled it off quite
Yeah.
well. We made like a banger video. And
it
do you
was
remember
like-
the results that we got from it?
Yeah. I mean, what was it, 3 or 4x their qualified leads?
Yep, and doubled their revenue, their monthly revenue inside of 3 months, which then led to them getting a sale in the 4th month. Like,
Yeah.
they were able to exit. That was absolutely
You were
sick.
kicking yourself about not taking some equity in that.
Yeah. I was kicking myself about not getting some sort of guarantee that,
Yeah.
that I would still get the remainder of my contract paid.
Yeah. So, I mean, we did so well that we lost a client. you know?
Yeah.
That's good.
Dude, isn't that bullshit?
It still stands up today, by the way. That's still like one of my favorite videos that we've
Same.
got. I think it called for 4 actors or something like that.
Yeah. Wow.
And we were like, all right, you're going to be every single part. And you're
Yep.
like, I don't know how the fuck this is going to
Yep.
work. And I was like, trust me.
I will link this. I will link this video so that people can see it on the top right, so they can get reference to what we're talking about here. But that was such a cool video, man. And I think that's where we really saw your skill set. Like, I didn't know that type of videography and editing was possible. And then let's go a step further, too, just to show how dedicated you guys are to your clients. And not to mention a brand new one. Talk about the process of how quickly you turned that around for me.
I think it was 3 days, 2 all-nighters.
2 all-nighters, 3 days, multiple editors. You got it done on time. You absolutely made me ecstatic. The client was ecstatic, and then the results followed after that.
Yeah.
That was a huge testament to who you guys were. And I think that's what a lot of people in the business realm look for. They want somebody that they can just, like, depend on, you know?
100%.
And when you ask them to go the extra mile, like, I wasn't in a position where I'm like, do this or F you, but I'm like, please, if you can, get this done. And you were just like, I got your back. And then from that point on, I just knew that, like, I could always depend on you. And whenever I could afford you, you're the guy that I hired. You know, like,
Yeah.
that's just how it went. So you got me. You had Phone Animal. I think you even did a testimonial. We did a testimonial together to help you gain some more business. What did the next couple of years look like for you? You talked about the highs, talked about the lows.
Yeah, I mean, it was always like for, I think, a year and a half or 2 years, just like month to month.
Yeah.
We were doing a lot of one-off projects and stuff like that.
Yep.
Part of it, I think, was because we were so young.
Yeah.
I feel like it's hard to trust people that are that young and green.
Yeah.
And the other part of it was just like building the connections takes a while to get the right referrals, because that's the majority of our business is referrals.
Right.
So, you know, we're just working with clients here and there. Ended up, you know, working here to help build the beginning of what this ended up being. And then once I got out of it, I feel like that's when push came to shove and we really started growing. Like 100% of my focus went to Q6.
So when you said here, I want you to back up a little bit, because we did have Ryan on like a few months ago, and he talked about your process together and how you built this studio. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that as well in the process that you went through?
What do you want to know?
I mean, I want to know like the struggles. I want to know the idea behind it. I want to know like why you decided to even, you know, get involved with it. What inspired you? Like, just, I don't know, speak freely.
Yeah, I mean, I had like a grandiose idea of having a studio one day, and Ryan was like, you got to check this place out. And I was like, that sounds incredible. Like, let's go in on a studio. And I'm a huge like tech and like gear guy.
Yeah, you're a fucking nerd. We know.
And it's fun, dude. It's fun.
That's why I like it.
So that's kind of like what excited me, is like, how do we figure out a way to like make this easier, and just like implement things that other people aren't doing yet. And so that kind of like held me over for about a year.
Help supplement the income a little bit.
Exactly.
As
yeah.
you were growing.
I mean, we got lucky out of the gate too. I think
Yeah.
one of our first clients was like Zach Tellender, who led to Chris Williamson, which is one of the biggest names in at least like the motivation side of podcasting.
100%. You guys have gotten comedians, like all kinds of cool stuff
a ton
in here.
of huge people. Gary V. We shot a video with Lewis Hamilton when he was here for F1. Bought a bunch of food that he didn't eat.
That's so nice of you, though.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, the leftovers were great.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all about the scene, though. You guys did a good job with that customer service side of things.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, I think Ryan is the mastermind behind that, for sure.
Yeah.
He's a great operator.
So you guys had this moment. You're using this to kind of supplement income. Eventually, you decided mutually with Ryan that, like, okay, screw the studio. From your perspective, like, I really got to focus on this video stuff. Like, I really want to grow your. Do you guys call it an agency, a video agency? How do you guys refer to yourself?
We refer to ourselves as a organic marketing agency.
I like that a lot. Okay, cool.
Because we focus on, a lot of short form organic and then long form YouTube organic.
Right.
We still do some ad work, but the vast majority of our business is organic content.
Yeah. So once you got to that point, you said everything started to really take off.
Yeah, I think part of it too is like while I was here and we were struggling, O'Malley needed a way to supplement the income, or I guess lack of income that we were doing with the business, and started recording a bunch of like just UGC videos for different brands. And all of it like went really well, and he started picking up a ton of experience with how to make videos perform organically. So then when I came back to full time, we just kind of put our heads together and focused on retainer clients and people who needed consistent video content. And I think the thing that we ended up, really figuring out is like adding the strategy to actually delivering the content and community management and responding to comments. Like that's what people were really like latching their teeth onto. They don't want to deal with any of it. It's like, you guys take care of it, make it perform well. I don't want to think about this shit.
It brings it back to my point earlier. You just want a guy that you can depend on. Like, here's the problem that I have, solve it for me entirely, and you will have my business for forever. I think that's exactly that same situation.
That's one of our like key, I guess, pillars, is just like client communication and following through on promises. And I feel like a lot of, I guess, creative agencies in general can fall short on that, or creatives in general, at least from what I've heard, are not always the best at timelines and communication.
Oh, they're the absolute worst. And that's one of the things that actually really stood out and made not just a partnership between us, but a friendship. Because I've dealt with creatives since year one, once I started to hire other people. Missed deadlines, sarcastic comments. What's the word that I'm looking for? It's not like devious behavior, but it's like just kind of like rude. You know what I mean? Like the way that they communicate.
Like arrogant?
Arrogant, yeah. They, if you try to critique their work at all, they're like, F you, this is genius work. And I'm like, I think it's really good work. I'm just asking you to maybe see it from a different perspective, because ultimately I want to create something together with you. I gave you the project because I believe you can do it to the best of your ability. But I have other objectives in mind that maybe I didn't communicate clearly. So with these new ideas, do you still feel the same? They don't see it that way. It's a personal attack on their work. So they were never able to separate it from themselves. Whereas with you guys, you ran it like a fucking business. You ran it like, oh, you didn't appreciate this aspect? Well, let's find a way that we could solve that problem to make it so that this is a more hard-hitting aspect of this video or this piece of content or whatever it is. You came at it very business-oriented rather than, this is my creative, beautiful butterfly of a work, and if you touch it, the wings are going to break and it's going to be ruined, and F you, Yeah. You guys had a real business approach. Why do you think you came at it that way? Was it divine inspiration, or was this a lesson that had to be learned over time?
I mean, I think at the end of the day, we've always looked at it like we're not putting out movies or TV shows. The purpose of the content is to perform well. It's not to have, there's plenty of people who can make pretty videos. Yeah. There's not as many that can make videos that perform either paid or organically. So at the end of the day, like if we put out a piece of content that looks shitty but performs well, we do that 100% of the time over just a good-looking video.
Right.
But I think to answer your question, that's kind of the mindset that we've had from the beginning.
Yeah.
And I'm not really sure. I haven't thought about like what caused that to happen.
Interesting. Something to think about then.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear an answer about that later.
Yeah.
You're now, what then, 4 years into this venture, going on 5?
I think we're 5, or we'll be 5 years as of, I think, the 22nd or something like that of this month.
Really? Okay, awesome, dude. Congratulations, and happy birthday for your business.
Oh, thank you.
So There are, I truly get a lot of DMs. Despite my small following, I get a lot of DMs of businesses asking for some sort of mentorship or coaching in the marketing space. And I would say, on a rough guesstimate, 20% of them are involved in the video marketing realm. And I don't really have answers for them. But they come at all different stages. They're just getting started. They're 2 years in, and they're 4 years in. What piece of advice, and if you could try to put yourself back in that frame of mind, because I know that a lot of people and a lot of mentors try to give advice based on what they've known and what they've learned and where they're at right now. But in year one, the frame of mind that you were in, what kind of advice would you give somebody who's trying to start a video agency or an organic performance agency, or something in that realm? What kind of advice would you instill in them?
Yeah, I think the best thing that you can do as like a video agency trying to grow is learn a skill that's adjacent to creating the content, whether that's making the funnels or advertising, running ads. I think adding on that stack to just the creative side is incredibly important to grow fast, even for like freelancers.
Right. So it's not just about creating the video and handing it over and say, here you go. It's about making sure that you know how to either advise them or execute with them to make sure that video can actually perform.
100%. And strategy is a huge part of that. Like, keeping up with how videos are performing so that you know how to continuously improve, the videos that you're creating.
Well, let me test you on that. Do you have some sort of research process or analytics that you are consistently looking at so that you know what is performing, and then you can compare, contrast, find out where the drop-offs occur on videos, and then mix, match, and create these Frankenstein-style videos? Like, how does that portion work for you?
Yeah, it depends on the platform. Our social media manager now is like constantly going in. So that's like one of her, I guess, roles in the company is to analyze, like, it is way harder with short form, but like what hook is different on this video, like how fast are the cuts, getting into the nitty gritty, not just like where's the drop off, but like why do we think it's happening? Like, here's very similar hooks. This one's a little bit different. It's performing better. Like, let's try to hone in on that and see if we can prove our theory right.
Yeah.
We use High Level a lot. They're getting better at reporting across different platforms too, which makes it a little easier.
Go High Level?
Yeah.
So are you talking about when they're making it to a landing page then, or are you talking about?
We just use it for social media management.
Oh, okay.
But like across, like we have 8, short form organic retainers right now.
Right. All your little sub accounts.
It ends up even at like, I don't know how much we're like $400 a month for that.
Yeah.
But unlimited sub accounts.
Right.
And we're just all used to the platform, and it's getting better. It's not the best at any one thing.
Yeah.
But it's all right.
It is the jack of all trades and a master of none. That is a fact for sure. We're looking to create our own just to kind of like mesh all of that together. So I totally know what you mean. Okay, so let's take year one advice. Develop some other skills that can accompany your skill set with videography. As you continue to grow that, you want to have something that you can use to help show and create performance for that, right?
Yeah.
Now we're getting into year 2 and year 3. What's happening there, and what kind of advice would you instill in somebody who's getting to that growth phase? Maybe they're making $5,000 a month, maybe 6, hell, maybe even getting closer to 10. What does that look like, and what kind of advice would you instill?
I mean, I think largely the advice stays pretty similar.
Okay.
It's, take clients that you already have that already trust you and use them to test out other things that you want to kind of add to your business and see if you even like doing that and don't hate your life,
Sure.
Like, I hate running ads. And we had we hired like a business coach who specialized in video stuff, and his whole strategy was like, build the funnels and run the ads and like sell them on these packages. And I just hated my life every single day.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't do this.
Sitting in an ads manager it's not ideal.
Yeah, and Meta doesn't make it any easier either.
They
It's a
suck.
nightmare in there.
They suck. They suck. They suck big time.
But yeah, I think just like keep getting out of your comfort zone with saying yes to stuff and then figuring it out as you go, you know, not over promising, but
That's a big one.
like we'll do this.
Right.
We're not going to be the best at it, but
Yeah.
I promise you won't be disappointed.
Absolutely. Yeah. So you're not over promising, but you are saying yes to a lot of things that you don't necessarily know how to do.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I think you get more comfortable with that too. It's like putting yourself in those situations where you have to learn and you have to perform. I think that's a skill set in and of itself, kind of.
Absolutely. Yeah. When did you start recognizing that sales and the sales process was super important? And how did you, I don't want to say master because I think that's a lifelong thing, but how did you at least get to a point where you felt comfortable in a sales meeting and you felt like you had a good chance of closing that client?
Yeah, I think it came mostly with putting myself in that position enough times, having deals go horribly wrong, you know, underselling services is a huge one. I feel like everyone struggles with no matter what level. It's like, I could price this higher,
Right.
you know.
Right.
They said yes too fast.
Yep.
You know.
Yep. I know.
But
what
I
you
think,
mean.
yeah, like a year and a half ago, I mean, depending on the deal size, still get nervous about pitching certain people, but
For sure.
and then I'm still like, I think that's the biggest thing that I'm still growing with or purposely trying to drive more towards is sales meetings and sales calls. We've kind of always led with like transparency and respect in the meetings, and it's worked pretty well for us.
Absolutely. It's hard to say no when you're being a genuine human being.
Yeah. But I've seen people do really well. Not. And we never want to go
I
that
can do
route.
it all. Trust me.
Yeah.
I can do everything. Don't worry about it. Sign the dotted line. Fuck you. I'm out of here. Yeah.
Yeah.
No question about it. But it's what you do is you create a situation where you're not setting yourself up for failure and then burning the client in the process, then burning a relationship, and then completely removing the opportunity for referrals down the line. Not to
100%.
mention a reference if needed.
Yeah.
So-
We're huge on long term. And we've had great stickiness with clients and have clients that have like not, you know, dropped our services, not because of performance, but because it didn't make sense for their budget at the time. And then a year and a half or 2 years later, come back with a much higher budget. And
Yep.
they're like, you guys run with it. You did great last time.
Yeah.
And it's important thinking long term instead of just let's get the money in the door now.
Amen
you
to
know?
that. Amen to that. The name of this podcast is Scaling with Purpose, and my personal Instagram handle is The Ethical Capitalist. How do you believe that you bring ethics into your business and scale with purpose?
Yeah. I mean, again, trust, respect, and transparency. I think the transparency thing is huge. And that, you know, that's both on the client side and internally. Like, we're huge on the culture side at Q6. Like, no one has, like, you have to show up at 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. It's like editors will roll in at noon sometimes.
You guys are so chill, dude.
Yeah, I know. Great place to work. We're like a family.
Pizzas every Friday, dude.
But yeah, I think, yeah, just being completely transparent with clients, even when you like fuck up.
Yeah.
You're like, I fucked up.
Yeah.
This is how I'm gonna fix it.
Yeah.
Like, not gonna happen again.
Well, it's the same with friendships. Like, if you mess up, as long as you're just like honest and upfront and apologetic, of course, like they're very forgiving. You know, they just don't want you to bullshit your way through the entire thing. You just look like an asshole at that point.
Yeah.
You know. Okay, so then you get into year 3, year 4. I believe you had your contract workers, no question about it. When did you get your first full-time employee, and how did that go?
I mean, our first full-time employee happened a while ago. I think it was right after we started working with you, like shortly after Phone Animal.
Okay.
Just because we couldn't, you know, you get into this loop in a video production company where you land a couple clients and then you're shooting and then spending all of your time editing, and you can't try to push for more client. You can't even think about that. It's like, I've got deadlines. So we brought him on. He's been with us for, I don't know, 3.5 years, 4 years.
Yeah.
But getting to employee number 2 took a while.
I'm such an asshole. Was it Ismail? What's the guy's name?
Ingram.
Ingram, dude, I love you. I am so sorry. I'm so sorry. He's edited some great videos for us. Fantastic.
We
guy.
got so lucky with him.
Yeah.
He's incredible.
Ismail, what the fuck was that? Anyways, okay, yeah. So you had Ingram, and then how long until employee number 2 then?
I don't know. I want to say 1.5 years, maybe.
Yeah. But that's like good, consistent growth.
Yeah. It was 1.5 years to our second editor, and then I think less than 6 months to like an intern social media manager type of role.
Yep.
And then we just hired our third editor, and we're also hiring like a more content creator, kind of O'Malley.
Yeah.
Little O'Malley, we're calling them.
Little O'Malley.
He needs some help.
Yeah. Well, I walked into your new office space a little over 6 months or 6 months on the dot ago, and I was flabbergasted. You guys had multiple rooms, multiple offices, a really sick editing room, and the team was buzzing. Like everybody seemed to have like really good camaraderie. And everybody seemed like they were like really excited to go to work. Not to mention you had whiskey in there, so that was a fantastic way to end the end of the day there. So that was cool. But now we've come to this point where I think you've got questions about where do you go next, and maybe questions regarding what you should be doing differently, possibly. So how can I help you as you go through these next phases of growth?
Yeah, the hardest part is the anxiety that I have now is making sure that we're not falling short for any of our clients as we continue to add more.
Yep.
And project management in general. So I guess like what kind of tools and systems do you use or do you recommend? I mean, there's obviously like, the obvious ones like Notion and stuff, but
sure,
implementation is the key part of that question, I guess.
Yeah, so I'm going to try to answer this in the best way possible. But the best thing that I ever did is, number one, hire employees that know more than you and that can teach you things. Because then you don't have to babysit them. You don't have to give them directives. They know what they need to execute on. And then usually what I tell my employees, day 1 through 30, you're going to learn and you're going to absorb. Day 30 through 60, you're going to be applying, and you're going to be applying with excellence. And then from 60 to 90, I expect to get feedback, and I expect to see improvements in everything that you're doing so that you can tell the rest of the company what needs to be done better. So the employee thing is a huge one. The second thing is when you get the opportunity or you do it yourself is you start building out operations and standard operating procedures for everything. Have you gotten to that point yet?
We don't have enough of them. You
don't have enough of what?
SOPs.
It's going to be big because as you continue to scale, you're not going to have time to teach everything. The data transfer from one mind to another is going to take a very long time. So you need to have as much written down and recorded as possible. So here's a software recommendation. We use Trainual for that. Trainual is really great because you can designate by position, but then you can also have like company-wide ones. So like when somebody first gets onboarded, they get to know everything about the company, about me, the founding story, our values, our mission, etc. And then from there, based on their position, they start to learn their role in theory. Then the standard operating procedures come into play within that training. Then they get pushed a little bit further. They have a position buddy, means that they are assigned to somebody else who has their exact same position, and they shadow them daily. At the end of every day, during these first 30 days, they have a debrief with the head, aka the director of that entire department, and they go over the questions that they had from the training. They go over the questions that they had from the meetings that they attended. Then they shadow different positions. That only happens one time, and then it's only about 3 hours in the morning. But they're going to shadow, like let's say we're talking about a client success manager. They're going to shadow an SEO specialist. They're going to shadow a meta media buyer. They're going to shadow a Google media buyer. They're going to shadow a video editor. And the reason that they do that is because although in the training they learn what everybody does, this gives them an opportunity to see what that application actually looks like. They get to an understanding of why it takes so long to edit a good video. Mm-hmm. They understand the rigorous work that it takes to audit a website and understand not just the technical errors on a website for SEO, but everything that needs to be done from the copywriting perspective, So they get a real understanding for everything that has to occur in order for the operation to work successfully. And then that gives them an opportunity to properly communicate that to the client when the client is either upset or they're not understanding something, or they're just lost in general, right? So it allows them to not only understand their position, but all the other positions as well. So those standard operating procedures are huge. And you got to remember that people learn in different ways. So not only do we have it written, but we have it in video format. And then as they go through that training portion with their position buddy, they're also doing it hands-on. So the position buddy is sometimes assigning them tasks that they would normally do. So one, it lightens their load a little bit. And then two, now they kind of have a nice little sandbox that they can train in, go in, do the work, bring it back to their position buddy and say, hey, did I do this correctly? Mm-hmm. And then they slowly learn in that way. And that allows you to scale a lot quicker because then you can hire 10 people at once and they've all got their divisions and they're slowly rising up together. Finally, they become a pod, in my sense anyways, in the way that we structure our company. They become a pod together, and now they know how to go out and tackle that. So that was a really long answer to that. Again, the software, Trainual, great for training. You've got to have some sort of task management software. You use Notion?
We use ClickUp.
You use ClickUp? Okay, that's fantastic. We use Monday. We like the integrations in there. But I would, again, use an operations person or somebody who specializes in automations to automate as much of those processes as possible and to make it so that you have a dashboard that you can view as an executive to know that everything is moving properly without micromanaging. That's super powerful. Mm-hmm. Everybody hates being fucking micromanaged. So if you can create a system that micromanages them for you without them actually having to talk to you and tell you what they're doing, but you can still check up, that makes a really big difference for the culture as well. What other softwares are good? You're already on Go High Level. I don't have to tell you anything about editing. You're probably already doing Fathom note takers for your video calls.
Yeah, we're using Fireflies.
Move over to Fathom. It's a lot better.
Everyone's implementing that. I'm starting to see.
Yeah.
Even like Google Meet has one integrated now.
Yeah.
And then ClickUp's
Yep.
just launched one.
Perfect.
What's different about Fathom?
Fathom it seemed like it was very, very accurate. Like it got everything really, really. It got done. It got all the notes that I needed done perfectly. And I've been through Fireflies. I did the autopilot. So it was of course in its infancy, and I think it's possible that it's a product of like I just came across the right one that was advanced enough at the time that I needed it. But I've had a really good experience with it. It's very accurate, and then at the end of it, in addition to it already giving you the tasks that you need to do, which my team can then copy paste, put into our task management software, when I have very in-depth conversations and I need like a quick script written from it, or I need a really in-depth summary, I can literally copy the transcript, put it into ChatGPT, and tell me what are the hardest hitting points, how can I turn this into a script, and what steps do I need to take in order to make sure that this is meeting a deadline inside of the next 6 days. Mm-hmm. So that's one of the things that I like. Other softwares that I'm trying to think about.
We use Slack for comms.
We do, Slack for comms, both internal and external communication. So for every single, every time we sign a client, we create both a client-facing channel and an internal-facing channel. Everything related to task management is inside of Monday.com, but for the quick bullshit, that's the internal chat where the team can just go back and forth. And then the client-facing channel makes it so that they can't bother their CSMs like all day long. Like we set expectations from the beginning that like, hey, we're going to be available during business hours. If it's after hours and it's an emergency and we catch it, great, we'll be there. But otherwise, you can expect us 9 to 5 in your time zone. So that's really good for setting expectations, really good for client communication. And then we used to do reporting manually, where we would just make it so that the SEO reports, the analytics reports for Meta and Google were taken by those individuals and then put into the client channel. But now we've moved everything into Looker Studio so that they have a live dashboard. And that's been very helpful. Not all of our clients have that yet. Excuse me. But as we continue to scale, that's going to be like the standard going forward. And then with the new implementation of our agentic AI, that's going to feed a lot of that information and then also give them recommendations and summaries on what's going to happen next so that there are no questions on what's next, essentially. There's not going to be any questions about where we're going. It's all reported to them right there. So I think that's, for the most part, our tech stack. I don't think I'm forgetting anything else. Long-winded answer.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was
I
a
thought
lot.
that was short.
Yeah, super short. Only 20 minutes. So, yeah, those are some of the biggest ones, I would say. What other questions you got for me, brother? Like, what are your biggest struggles?
I think, like any company, it's just acquisition. Like
Client acquisition?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we're pretty referral based. I guess I'd like to consider us more of a white glove agency where our offerings aren't as standard, and we don't plan on working with like hundreds of clients,
Right.
or work with tens of clients.
Right.
So, yeah, I guess it's like standardizing it as much as possible without packaging things into a box. Like, where do you think that line is? And I guess that's, super difficult to answer without knowing everything. But
I don't know everything about your business, but what I can say is that the more that I have standardized our offerings, the easier it has become to sell. That's just the truth.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can standardize offerings, what you do is you create a few packages. And you can say you can take advantage of this, that, or the other. And then through the discovery process, though, you find out what their needs are. So you say, all right, it's going to cost $7,500 to tackle these 3 things that I know that you need. The things that you talked about wanting to need, we can add on a la carte. And that's where you can get a little bit fishy. I wouldn't say fishy. You can get creative with pricing in order to match what the client's expectations are, allow you to have a good profit margin, and possibly negotiate and meet somewhere in the middle. So I would say standardize it as much as you possibly can, honestly. Like, I know that it's difficult, but like from what you've told me, it's good organic content creation that you can sell for $10K a month, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you can, if you're not going to be running ads, find whatever, but like whatever the guarantee is or whatever extra services you're including on there, like it's set. That's what it is. And then make sure you sign them for a certain amount of time. Don't go month to month. Get them for a long period of time, because that's going to help keep you out of the feast and famine cycle and allow you to continually scale.
Yeah, we've never done like more than month-to-month contracts, but we've also never really had an issue with people dropping off before, like, I don't know, month 4.
I think that's pretty solid. I mean,
so like we've thought about it plenty of times, because the discovery process on what's working with organic short form takes a little bit of time to dive into what their audience or their target market's actually responding to.
right.
But I think we combat that by setting expectations and being like, hey, this isn't immediate. And then most of the time we'll hit a couple videos with over 100,000 views within the first month, which then surprises them. And they're like, they get hungry. Like, give me more.
Right.
I want more views.
Okay, so then here's what you do at that moment. You've got them at their high, and I do this already as well. Once you've got them at a high, you get a testimonial or a check-in call, which essentially becomes a testimonial. I have my client success managers. They have my calendar link. Anytime a client has achieved something awesome, even if it's not their end goal, right? They set up a call with me so that we can go over the results and they can rave about how great we are. And then the second is when we do actually achieve the goal that we set out to, usually revenue based, and we get another testimonial call then. That helps with our content creation for the organic side, and then it also sets us up so that we have a continual funnel of advertisements that we can put out as social proof. You know how important social proof is, and you could run a really good meta campaign that has a couple videos of you or Ryan talking about, like, you know, why they should be working with you, and then either retargeting or straight up going for a conversion with those testimonial videos. And you will get good, consistent leads that come in that you will then be able to go ahead and take those sales calls. And then again, that helps you get out of that feast or famine, because somebody's focusing on those sales, even if it's a couple a week. Like, you're securing maybe a new client a week or a new client every 2 weeks, and then that accounts for your churn. So you're continually growing. I know that you have pretty decently low churn. So as long as you're adding slowly over time, that's going to allow you to grow nice and smooth, and it's going to keep you in those tens of clients rather than those hundreds until you decide, hey, I'm the bee's knees. We should maybe go ahead and start looking at hundreds of clients. You know?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Are you banking on that happening?
I
think I'm going to go for scale at some point?
I think that you will, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it took me 6 years to get to 100 clients, you know? Mm-hmm. And we created a 7-figure agency based off of referrals first, right? And that's why I really respect the process that you're going through, because you're creating a system that's replicatable, that you know you can depend on. And then once you've done that, you've got the self-esteem and you've got the confidence to send it off into the world. And then here's what's going to happen, because this happened to me. I hope it doesn't happen to you, but this is what happened to me. I turned on ads. Everything went great for 3 months, but we grew way too fucking fast. We 3x'd our revenue inside of like 4 months, and everything fucking broke.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so then we had to go back in, hire an operations person, go through building those SOPs. And that's why I've had this conversation with you before. Build those SOPs first. At least build what you think they should look like. We've revised our standard operating procedures more than a dozen times. No question about it. And our teammates have had to adjust to it. But we at least had it in theory, and it was followed until it was broken. And then that allowed us to go back, find the broken spot, fix it, and then make sure that all actions taken there afterwards were followed appropriately, you know? So it's just like, yes, you built the bike, and the chain's going to break, and you've got to fix that chain while you're riding that bike, but at least you know that the chain you had wasn't working, and now you know what the solution is while you're still kind of rolling down the hill, hoping to fix that chain.
Yeah.
So it's just like, get that shit down, and it's going to make your life a lot easier. And that's not me giving you advice about because of where I'm at right now. That's the advice I would give you 2, 3, 4 years ago. It would have made a big difference if I would have done that a little bit earlier.
Okay.
No question.
Yeah, that's
about
great
it.
advice.
Yeah.
When do you think we should turn on ads?
I think that you should turn on ads once you've got your standard operating procedures figured out.
Okay.
Yep, 100%. And that means that, like, everybody knows what they need to do without talking to you. Unless there is a nuance problem that they can then come to you and say, hey, here's an issue. I have 2 solutions, and here's the one I think we should go with. And you say, yes, I think that's great. Add this onto it, and you're good to go. But as soon as you've got that taken care of, then turn on your ads and spend $50 a day. You know, that's what I started off with, and we got 180 leads in the first month. You know what I mean? Because you're new to the market, your content is good. People that aren't ready to buy right away are at least going to follow you, and if they continue to see that organic content, they continue to see those testimonials that I'm telling you to get, they're going to be convinced over time, and they're going to continue to get retargeted, which at some point means they're going to become a lead and they're going to want to buy from you. But you could also be an asshole and just turn on your ads and see what happens, honestly. Like, you honestly could. Turn them on, see what happens, break the fucking bicycle, and then continue to do what you do, though. And be forthright and be honest. Be like, hey, this is the first time that, you know, we're in this position. We really think that we can kick ass for you. Let's do month to month. We're not going to lock you in. And I think that you could get a lot of sales by not locking people in. The biggest hesitancy that we get during that sales process is people don't want to commit for 12 months because they're not sure of what we can do. Even though I can literally send them 119 testimonials that show that we have absolutely crushed it for so many clients, they still have a level of uncertainty because truly I think they doubt themselves. They're not sure if they can fulfill on their own. But give them those testimonials, talk them through it. Don't have that that long-term commitment, do that month to month like you're doing. But when they hit that high, I'll actually bring this back to the point earlier. When they're at that high, get that testimonial and then ask them for a 6-month commitment. Say, hey, do you want to continue to do this? And then you can have a little bit more consistency in your revenue and be able to push that further without having, like I said earlier, that feast or famine cycle continue.
Yeah, I like that idea. Signing like a longer term after we're already showing them what they're doing.
That's right. And you'll see that with a lot of ads that are online. They're like, let us show you what we can do first. You know? And it's just like, okay, great. Yeah, month to month, fine. No problem. You know, or give us 3 months. We'll get you this many views. Like that's the big thing right now that I see with a lot of video marketing agencies. Find out what makes you unique. Find out what you can actually fulfill on. Try to find a way to guarantee it in some way, shape, or form. If you don't want to do that guarantee, your cost per lead is going to be a little bit higher, but that's okay. That means you bring in higher quality clients. But again, yeah, once you get them on that high, that's when you strike. That's when you get the testimonial, and that's when you ask for the commitment. So,
yeah, that makes sense. Yep. I don't know what our guarantee would be.
So the way that I found out my guarantee, and I actually owe this to Jason Wojo. He's like an internet guru guy, runs ads for all sorts of different businesses. When we first turned on ads, him and his team are the ones that were running it. And he was running me through the onboarding process in like 15 minutes. And I was like, holy shit, I don't know what's going on. And one of the things that he asked me to do, he says, okay, well, what do you do best? And I'm just like, well, I'm really good at making clients money. He's like, yeah, okay, everybody is. But like, what are you really good at doing? And I'm like, well, I've got 4 auto styling clients that I've doubled the revenue for inside of 60 days. And he goes, boom, there's your guarantee. I will double your monthly revenue inside of the next 60 days or we'll work for free until we do. And I go, whoa, hold on. I can do that, but what if I get like a bad client that doesn't know how to sell, et cetera? He's just like, well, then let's push it back to 6 months. And I'm like, okay, I know I can do it in 6 months because even if they suck at sales, I can coach them up a little bit and be able to get to them to that. Mm-hmm. So look at what your success rate is, where you've had the most success and where you feel the most comfortable. Try and find that common denominator, and then you may be able to find a guarantee or a promise or a or like a Wolf of Wall Street moment where it's like, I ask you not to judge me on my success, but on my failures because I have so few, you know?
Yeah.
Like that's a line or something similar to that you could use in order to get somebody across the line and create an impactful moment in your advertisements or in the sales call.
Okay.
What else you got?
I don't know.
I've been rambling hard, dude. So
much information.
A lot of information. Absolutely.
Yeah,
dude.
It's great.
Well, we can change topics a little bit. As we rebrand, I remember like contesting you a little bit, saying like, "Hey, we're kind of turning into more of a platform and less of a marketing agency as we integrate AI into every aspect of our business in order to make us super deadly." And, you know, our Creators Collective video is like very punchy, Dollar Shave Club vibe, gets a little bit of laughs. It's cheeky. And I said, I think we need to be more professional. And you said, what?
Why?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. What's the point of doing the whole cookie cutter thing?
Right,
you know,
exactly.
Everyone does that.
Right. So my question to you is, what direction do you think that we should take it then? And have you, I know it's only been a couple days, but have you had any revelations or like perhaps direction that we should take it?
I think so. I think we can go a little bit more professional than how Dollar Shave Club-esque that video is. But I think, you know, and I talked about this a little bit, but leaning into how many AI like marketing companies there are, and kind of not punching down or like putting down the power of AI, but kind of like poking fun or punching up at it.
Yeah.
But I think one of the biggest differentiators that you have, other than all these like, you know, 23-year-old dudes who start an AI marketing company, is you guys have been doing this people driven for years and have run, I don't know, thousands. I don't know how many thousands of campaigns and work
Yeah.
with hundreds of clients.
Generated 300+ million in revenue.
Yeah, and that's where all your data is coming from.
Right.
And it's not going to be like an immediate, all of it's AI thing. It's going to be using the right tools. Like you guys, it's like all these other companies I feel like are, a fucking home cook in a professional kitchen.
Right.
But you guys have years of, what's Michelin star experience.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I think finding a way to position that, and you could do it with like a writer's room vibe, kind of like a single set vibe is what I'm thinking.
A single set, what do you mean by that?
Just like a single location.
Yeah.
If it's like a writer's room, it's like all the other writers are just like the regular AI companies that are giving like cookie cutter, not a lot of input answers that are missing context and stuff like that.
That's pretty
And
solid.
then you guys are coming in with like the human touch using AI as a tool, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. Something for you to know is that this will be AI powered. This will be agentic AI. And then there's going to be a human touch.
Yeah, human in the loop.
Yeah, there's the human is involved to make sure that one, there's a relationship with the client, and then two, to just kind of double check the work, because we have 9 years of data through Slack, through our Google campaigns, through our Meta campaigns, through our written strategy documents, through our standard operating procedures, through our calls. We have every single call recorded, every sale recorded. And so we know all of the conversations and every single data point that's involved that's going to be used to construct this monstrosity of multiple agentic AIs. So it's going to be, this is the part that I also really want to use to try to differentiate, is that like our original like tagline was going to be AI powered and human driven, but it's really not. It's just like AI, and then here's a touch of human. You know what I mean? So I kind of like the idea of this like writing room, where it's like they're throwing out these different ideas, and then what happens then though? Do we pop up and say, well, actually, like here's a feature, and here's why we're better? Like, there's got to be something else that's a little bit.
I mean,
like
the idea is the punching up happens when it's like another fucking AI marketing company ad.
Okay.
Like you're getting hit with so many of these.
yeah. Okay, so
and you
they've
guys
got
are like, I mean, I'd imagine that maybe, a lot less than 10% are actually long-term marketing companies that are using all of their own data
right.
and their experience and their people to build the systems.
Yep. So you're thinking like writing room style, and then it's kind of just like I step away with the camera, and then I create some talking head relationship with the video camera, aka the audience.
I mean, I can kind of see the camera spinning around and people, it's just all the other AI companies pitching their ideas.
Yeah.
And then it gets to you and you're like dressed completely different.
Yeah. Okay.
And you just put a bombshell in there.
I like that. Okay.
And then, then you talk about the value
Absolutely.
and what makes you different.
Yeah. Okay.
And then the guarantee at the end.
I like that. All right. Well, let's work that out over the next like week or so. I want to see what we can come up with. Before we wrap this up, though, do you have any other questions for me? Anything that I can really help you and Ryan out with?
How are you hiring people?
Great question. LinkedIn. So I've tried recruiters. They suck and they take a lot of money on top of what the actual cost of the employee is. So we use LinkedIn, and we have found that there are certain countries that you can obviously arbitrage currency for, but also get top talent. I can pay a doctor's salary for a media buyer in order to get the best of the best, and that's still going to be 50% to 25 to 50% of what I would pay a lazy American who doesn't really want to show up to work, doesn't want to go into the office, and doesn't really care if these campaigns generate the shit that you want them to generate. So I have found amazing talent in Bolivia, Argentina, Mexico, Puerto Rico, South Africa, Kenya, and Rwanda. Those places have been fantastic. Put the salary at the very top of the job description so that people know. And then be very specific about what is to be expected in this. I mean, it's, normal job description stuff, but be very specific. Boost that post. Make sure that there is money behind it. That way the best people find it. And then a lot of people make the mistake, and this comes from me personally, I've made the mistake of really betting on my intuition, right? I'll have 3 interviews. I'm exhausted after just 3 interviews, and I'm like, the first one was good. Let's go with them. Huge mistake. Because when you hire a B player, you bring all of your A players down to that B player. But if you have an A-plus player and you put an A-minus player next to that A-plus player, that A-minus player will play up to that A-plus player. But if you've got an A and a C, that A is going to play down to the C. So you've got to keep it in that A level because they will continually feed off of each other, and that's when they start solving problems for your business without you being involved. It's absolutely incredible. So you have to hire the best. And it's difficult because you want to hire cheap, you want to protect your profit margins, but the fact of the matter is that you have to get the best. And I promise you, it will pay dividends for you in the long run because your clients will be happier, they will stick around longer, and therefore they will be paying you more money over time. So you have such a beautifully mutual beneficial relationship because the clients are happy and you're happy and you're creating a business that's like truly successful and is scaling with purpose.
Yeah.
Right? Yep. There's a lot of it truly is ethical capitalism. You are bringing people out of poverty and giving them, you are paying somebody a wage that they could have never had an opportunity to have in their home country, especially because in some countries there's actually a lot of reverse racism, and people can't get jobs, even though they're like top talent. So you get to lift them out of that and you get to put them in a position where they get to support their family. And that honestly like feels amazing. It actually makes me a little bit emotional thinking about it because they are then so grateful for you, and then I'm so grateful for them because they give me so much of themselves. And you've just got A players just freaking pounding away every day. Like everybody's pumped up. I'm getting paid well. We're delivering clients results. The clients are happy. It just like, it brings everybody up. And there was a year there where we were hiring these lower echelon players, and it brought the energy down. People didn't succeed as well. We lost a few clients. Churn rate went up to maybe 15% in some months, and now the industry average for the marketing agency industry is 30%. We've got that down to 4%.
Oh wow.
Yeah, we've got that down to 4% because of the A players that we bring in. And then we also do a lot of framing too. We're saying like, wait for 3 months, and then I promise we'll make you a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's just like, just hold it together for 3 months, and then I promise everything's going to work out. So yeah, I think just do it on LinkedIn, be very descriptive, and you will find the people that you are looking for. And especially when it comes to editors or people that you don't need to have in office, don't be afraid to hire out of country. We've still got a lot of people in the United States who are great. They handle some of our largest accounts. We've got people in Houston, Michigan, Hawaii, a couple more in Texas, and then of course Michigan. Already said Michigan, Idaho. Like we've still got plenty of them, but the ones that don't need to necessarily be like on site or nearby, they're all over the world, and they do a really, really good job. So
yeah,
yep.
we haven't hired outside of Austin yet.
Yeah, and I think that's fantastic. Like there's nothing wrong with having that homegrown feel to it, and like really. Having that Austin culture. But if you're getting to that video editing perspective, Colombia is also a wonderful place. We have 11 video editors out of Colombia who we pay amazingly, enough to where, they can support, again, their entire family and extended family. And they work hard and they create beautiful videos that our clients are proud of, So, yeah, it makes a big difference, really big difference.
Well, cool. We've definitely thought about hiring out, but even like our editing bay, like people are constantly talking to each other and running shit by each other. So it's like we're kind of stuck in the middle there where it's like we like having the culture there and the communication. Yeah. Just like yelling across the
Yeah.
the office.
Yeah, that's fun shit, dude.
Yeah,
That's fun shit.
it is. It's fun to go into work,
Yeah, and that's the one thing that I do miss is that I'm siloed at home, But then I love getting on video calls or doing stuff like this, and it kind of makes it worth it. But that's
It's
why
two different sides of the coin.
Yeah, and that's why, like in Bolivia, though, we purchased an office, right? So that we have the 11 or 12 people that are there. They've all get to have that camaraderie.
Oh, that's
and we're working on getting one in Kenya.
You been yet?
Yeah, I went and visited them actually back in early June. I went and visited them.
Nice.
It was so fun, man. It was such a good time. I remember we took all 12 of us out to dinner at a very nice restaurant. We ordered everything on the menu twice. Everybody got drinks, and it cost $100. And I was like, "What the hell? This is amazing. I need to live here."
Yeah, that's
So
ridiculous.
fun. So fun because I'm talking like steak, cow's heart, every part of the cow that you could possibly imagine, shrimp and everything else. But it's all grown locally, and that's besides the point. Meeting them and going down there and like actually developing that relationship was like really inspiring, and I think that inspired a lot of the team as well. So, yeah. To wrap it all up, man, if there is one piece of advice or one thing that you just want to put out into the world, something that you would want to leave as a lasting impression, what would it be? What would you say?
I think don't be afraid to fuck up. You got to make mistakes.
Yep.
So that's it.
Failing forward is a very, very important thing. I think every single one of my successful ventures came from 3 or 4 failures right before that.
Yeah.
The good thing is always around the corner. And it brings back to sales too, You can get a million no's, but as soon as you get that yes, like it changes everything.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Well, thank you, dude. I really appreciate you coming on here. I've had a fantastic conversation with you. I'm looking forward to developing the script with you. And then I'm going to link that phone animal video so that you guys can talk to this guy and get your videos made by him. Where can they find you online, and how can they get a hold of you if they want some of the best organic brand hero videos, whatever you want to call it? How can they get a hold of you and make sure that they are developing their brand with the best in the business?
Yeah. Q6.media is our website. You can either fill out a form or contact me directly through my phone number or email address.
Beautiful.
Simple.
Easy peasy.
Yeah.
Lemon squeezy. Give me some slap, dude. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thank you.
You're the man,
It was
brother.
fun.
All right, sweet.